Hello, my spooky friends.
My name is Cassie,
And I'm Caitlin.
and welcome in to I'd Survive.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We're hanging. We're chilling. What's up, Cassie? How you been?
Well, it's been 3 days, and it's been it's been a good 3 days. Like, I was really, in case you didn't notice, like last episode that we filmed, I was going through a time. I was stressed. I was tired. I was doing a lot, and I'm starting to finally get caught up with everything that I need to be caught up with, and like on the trend of being ahead as well. So that's really nice. But since I've been like finally getting through the final stretch of just getting shit done, no new horror for me. Other than if you consider The Last of Us Part 2 the game horror, I love it so much. It's my favorite game that I've ever played. I cannot wait until you play it. You're going to love it.
I am so looking forward to it. That'll definitely be a good game. I am currently playing Alien Isolation, so you could definitely say that's horror. It's just stressful because it's such a stealth-based game, and like stealth is so scary in video games.
I agree.
When you don't have the ability to like shoot something and like run up to it and just punch it, it's way scarier.
No, it's so bad because I remember when I first watched your The Last of Us Part 1 playthrough, you were so much better at stealth than me, which is why I was like, when it comes to Alien Isolation, again, well, let's just be real. Like, any game you play, you do better than me. Like, it's just a fact. No, it's actually just a fact. Like, it's not even a compliment.
Well, girl, that's because you were playing with a delayed controller like a psychopath.
Okay, but even Alien Isolation, like I didn't have a delay. I just like, I still loved it so much, and I did much better than, of course, The Last of Us Part 1 because I didn't have that delay, but still like I think you do stealth really well. I'm one of those people too, though, where I'm like, I could just be sneaky, but like that's going to take a long time. So let me just try to shoot everyone.
You're like impatient. You're just like, no, oh my God, I'm not sitting behind this box for like more than a minute.
Yes, it's not even the fact that like stealth is hard. It's just like takes a lot of patience, and sometimes it's hard, but because of that.
Yeah.
But no, I've been loving your Alien Isolation streams so much, to the point where like it's a problem. Like, I need to get stuff done. Like I'm just sitting there watching you play when I have a billion things to do. But yeah, you said like obviously it's horror, but is it? Like, if you watch Caitlin's first playthrough, you're gonna be fucking laughing harder than you've ever laughed in your life, and it's like suddenly the funniest game I've ever seen watching you play.
Oh my God, I don't know. It's just everything that happens in that first episode with Axel to me was the funniest thing for no reason. I don't think I've ever laughed that hard playing a game on stream. Like, that was ridiculous.
I had tears from my rotting place on my bed watching you.
Hey, it's been fun. But outside of that, I don't think I've watched anything in the past few days. Oh yeah, no, I definitely haven't.
Yeah, so no, same. I don't think I've even seen any new horror. Like, what's the current buzz in horror? I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. We've been busy, guys.
Yeah.
We've been just doing life and stuff. But today we're going to talk about a movie that I found over on Shudder, which, oh my God, I don't know if I talked about that, but I do have Shudder now because Cassie convinced me to get it, and it's awesome. Like,
I'm so excited. I'm also so excited because this means you're one step closer to watching the Creep tapes, and
I know. I can't wait to watch those.
Those are a ride.
I think we talk about Creep every single episode of this podcast.
It's Caitlin's fault. She's the one who put me on them, and they're so good.
They're amazing. Today we are talking about a movie. It is a movie from 2023. It is called Nightman, and under my movie background section here in my notes, I wrote that this movie was directed by Melanie Deloy Betancourt, and that is literally all I have for you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This movie does not have a Wikipedia page.
What?
Which is wild to me. I don't think I've ever seen that. Like, this movie just doesn't have much background on it at all. And I don't know why.
Does it come off as extremely low budget?
No.
That's so weird.
It really doesn't. It comes across as like a full-blown movie. Like, it's not like it looks cheap. I just was like, I don't know. I was confused by that.
That stresses me out because I'm always scouring like random Wikipedia pages to find movies, and just knowing that there's so many movies that aren't on Wiki, like I'm like, how do I find you? Oh man. Okay. Well, this is why we have Shudder, because they have the movies that you can't find anywhere else.
Exactly.
This is not sponsored. I don't know why I said it like that.
And this is brought to no, it's not. It's not. But it could be if they wanted it to be.
Imagine. That would be a peak.
All right. So we're going to get into this movie, Nightman. Let's do this. The film opens on a therapy session. It's a nice, bright room, and the therapist is taking notes in her notepad. And the woman across from her, Alex, asks, "Do you mind if I eat a lollipop?" And she's very British. Oh, yeah, this is a British film,
okay,
by the way. Alex digs through her bag as she explains that she has high blood sugar and jokes that the therapist wouldn't want her to pass out in her office, now would she? This therapist woman, she doesn't like even laugh. She just like is looking at her through all of this.
Ew.
And I'm just like, this is like so weirdly uncomfortable and I hate it.
Yeah, what the hell? You're supposed to be so personable and kind.
Right? Right? That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So Alex unwraps the lollipop saying, where was I? And the therapist is like, you were telling me about a dream. So she goes on to recount this dream, one that occurs on the night that her mother died.
Mm-hmm.
In the dream, Alex can hear her parents arguing. She sneaks downstairs to see what's happening when she witnesses her father push her mother. From where she's standing, all she can see is her mother's arm on the ground, completely still.
Oh my God.
When her father notices her, he comes through the doorway, pats her on the head, and smiles at her. Alex says, uncomfortably, that she remembers smiling back.
Oh.
Yeah, right?
Oh my God, ew. I mean, obviously not her fault. Like, there's no right way to react to that, but that's just so chilling.
I know. That feels like it almost feels like a short story, like a horror short story.
Yeah.
Like just the energy of that.
Oh my God, you could end it there and just tear that part apart, like, of what it means.
Oh my God. Well, we got to turn that into a short film now. You and me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I want to note that like, during this retelling, Alex is she's got the lollipop in her mouth and it's kind of interfering with what she's saying, but like I can still very much understand her. But the therapist cuts in is like, can you take the lolly out of your mouth? And she's so cold about it. And
Lame.
I'm like, if this were my therapist, she would get nothing out of me. I would not, like, I feel like she's just being extremely judgmental and cold. And I didn't think that's how this was supposed to go.
If this was my therapist, she would not be my therapist anymore. I'd be like, okay, cool. Like, gonna go find someone new now. Good luck.
Moving on. Now our opening credits play over some beautiful shots of a car driving through the countryside. Gorgeous landscapes, mountains, fields, and we get the title card, Nightman.
Mm-hmm.
Inside this car, Alex sits in the passenger seat and she looks over at the driver, her husband, Damien, and smiles. He gives her a little smile back as we pull into the driveway of an old, beautiful stone home on a very secluded property. Think English countryside kind of vibes. In the background, we can see that there are some stone ruins of a large structure, kind of castle looking, and it's like up on a cliff right behind the house.
Pretty.
It is really pretty. It's like very, I mean, like secluded is creepy when you're a horror person, but at the same time, it's just like so calm and beautiful. And I'm like,
exactly,
kind of jealous. So when Damien gets out of the car, he's greeted by a man named Fred Jenkins, who leads us into the home. Fred leads us into the entryway and tells us that no one's been here for months. The house is just as Mrs. Miller left it. I only met her a few times, but your mother was quite an elegant and wonderful lady. Damien's like, was? And Fred apologizes, correcting himself, saying, "Oh, is. Sorry, I'm so silly."
Oh my God. Okay. That's terrifying just because it's a horror movie. But like IRL, I might also be terrified enough to be like, wait, no, something's wrong. Like I need to go. Like I would overreact to that so bad. Like it could be a genuine misslip, but even IRL, I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna leave now.
Like that's actually really creepy.
Yeah.
I put myself in Fred's shoes, though. Can you imagine doing that by accident?
Oh my God.
And it's like got to be the most awkward thing of all time.
I would have to like over explain, over apologize, like be so like to make sure that they don't find that like creepy or sus or are worried about their mother now. Like,
yeah, it's like, oh, no. Wait, my bad. I'm just an idiot. Don't mind me. So Fred continues on to say, to reassure you, I hear that the institution she's placed in is very reputable. I'm sure she's in excellent care. Terrible, ain't it, when the mind starts to fail you? Before getting to signing the documents, we learn that Damien hasn't been to this house in 26 years, which immediately to me feels like kind of weird. Like, I don't know, because it's his mother's house, right?
yeah.
So it's like, okay, so we immediately know like they're not close. And Fred's just like, oh, okay, like, cool, like, let's sign these papers now.
Mm-hmm.
And while Damien is signing the papers, Fred explains that he, as the guardian, will be in charge of Mrs. Miller's home, estate, and any decisions regarding her well-being. While the men take care of the paperwork, Alex takes the opportunity to wander around the house a bit. It's certainly an old home, but an old home with a lot of character. Like every room has, some different wallpaper and there's just tons of stuff. It's a very lived-in home.
I love that.
Alex notes some pictures on display. They seem to be of Mrs. Miller on her wedding day and some of her with a young girl as well. She heads up the creaky stairs, making her way into one of the bedrooms. This one seems to be Mrs. Miller's old room. The bed is unmade. There are clothes around the room. However Mrs. Miller left this place, it doesn't seem like she had time to tidy up or anything. It seems like she just kind of left.
But it's supposed to have been 26 years since she left?
No. So I think Mrs. Miller left like within the past few months.
Okay, it's been 26 years since he's been here.
Yeah, Damien hasn't been here since 26 years ago.
And she's like in an institution, and so, but only for a couple months. Okay.
Yeah. Alex leaves Mrs. Miller's room and heads down the hall where she sees a closed door. She opens it and walks into a perfectly preserved little girl's room. It's like a sweet pink child's room, and on the bedside table sits a photo of a girl who appears to be maybe 10-ish years old, and Alex looks at this photo as Damien enters the room. Is this your sister? She asks him. Yeah, that's Lily, he replies through a sigh. Alex asks him if he's doing all right, and he says that he is. It's just weird to be back here. He goes on to ask her what she thinks. Could she see herself here? Instead of answering, she deflects the question back onto him, and he immediately says yes. The fresh air would do her good, and he could finish his thesis. This would be a good place for them. Alex smiles at him, and they share a sweet kiss, excited for their new life. The two of them decide to go for a stroll outside, explore the grounds a little bit, and Damien takes Alex up to the stone ruins behind the house, and on the way there, he tells her a little story. So here it goes.
Oh, God.
Maeve O'Brien had identical twin sons. One night she was visited by a banshee who warned that the boys were only identical in appearance, but one was born pure good and the other pure evil.
Oh.
The banshee offered to take the evil child, but Maeve refused. That night, both boys fell ill. The banshee returned, saying only one could be saved if Maeve chose a child to leave atop the castle tower. In desperation, Maeve chose one of her boys. By morning, that child was dead and the other had recovered. Overcome with grief and guilt, Maeve threw herself from the top of the tower.
So why is he telling us this?
So
just a nice little stroll.
A nice little stroll. So Damien finishes this tale, and they're standing beneath the very tower from the story. And Alex asks him, which child was saved in the end. Well, he says, little Callum grew into a feared clan chief renowned for his cruelty and bloodshed. So sounds like the evil child might have been saved in this situation, unfortunately.
Oh. Are we supposed to think that she knew which one was which? Like she couldn't have known at that point? Okay,
she
she just
she had to pick one. They were either both gonna die or she had to pick one.
Yeah.
So she did. So Alex looks at Damien and is like, and this was your ancestor? And he's like, yeah, afraid so. So this is his supposed family lore, folklore kind of story.
That's crazy.
I know.
I don't really have any family lore like that, but like that's cool for you. Like
I love that for you. That's great. Back at the house, Damien begins to make some preparations for the move. He clears out the liquor cabinet, placing all the bottles into a garbage bag. He takes his mother's clothes from the closet and moves them in boxes up to the attic. Alex is kind of just observing as he does all of this. She's like sitting on the counter eating an apple, and then she just like follows him upstairs, like look in the attic. And she's wandering around the attic when she stops and stares at one of the corners in the attic. And Damien makes his way over and tells her, oh, that table. And we see this table covered in equipment. He's like, that's where we used to skin the animals after a big hunt. And she asks him if he ever skinned an animal. And he says,
what
no.
in the world? Can I just say, why are you carrying dead animals up into the attic? Like, go in the garage or something.
Right? Like,
the
all the way
stuffy
through the house?
attic? That's like disgusting. I bet the smell is rancid.
Yeah, right?
Ugh.
Yeah, no thanks. Yeah, why wouldn't you do that outside?
Yeah.
Why are we dragging it through the house to do that? That's actually insane.
Yeah.
Alex asks Damien, like, did you ever skin an animal? And he says no, but he did used to watch. No wonder you became vegetarian, she says. And I was literally, I'm gonna say, like, I was thinking about this recently, like, because I'm not vegetarian. I have no plans to be. Like, I like meat. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But if I had to do it myself or like see it happen, I don't think I could do it anymore. Like, if I had to like watch this animal be killed and then prepped, I don't know, like at that point, because once you know, buy a burger, you don't have to think much about it.
Yeah.
You just eat it.
I will say I literally was like sobbing to a TikTok the other day of like humans stealing baby cows from their mothers, and then the mothers are like running after the truck trying to get there. And I was like, oh my God. I actually also have seen like deer being skinned since I was like 5 years old. Because I'm in like in Wisconsin, like hunting is a really like popular thing. Like they literally have days at school where they don't assign like new homework and tests and stuff because they know like the high school boys are going to be gone hunting, like on hunting trips and stuff. Like,
wow.
Yeah, it's like very popular where I'm at. And it's weird because like I didn't like as a kid, I don't know if it was because I was exposed so young, but like it didn't affect me in any conscious way that I can think of. Like it was just normal.
Yeah.
And then I remember like growing up and mentioning like, oh, like, yeah, my stepdad, my grandpa is like gone hunting. And they were like, hunting? Like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh.
It's not normal for everybody.
Hunting is a whole thing. I don't know. Some people shouldn't be doing it. And some people like, you know, I'm not going to get into the hunting debate. But
I know.
As far as like the psychological effects, like that's interesting that you say that about him, because I'm like, oh, I was like 5 years old saying that. And it didn't like, if anything, it made it like more normal to me.
Yeah.
Than like scarring me.
I can totally see that. And it's like, it's interesting because like obviously, you know, you see in media and like read books or whatever. And it's like, I've read the perspectives of people who like, yeah, obviously that's just part of their normal day to day. Like, this is how we eat. This is how we survive. Yeah. But growing up, not seeing that at all, like I can't imagine.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it would be much more shocking, like being away from it. And then all of a sudden, like you're 20 and you're seeing it in front of you and you're like, holy shit. I feel like that's much more like jarring for sure.
Yeah. No, that's an interesting debate that you're right. We're not going to get into.
Nah.
We're not going to do that. Later that night, Alex and Damien are sitting down to what appears to be a pretty romantic dinner. We have some nice piano music playing, and Alex is actually clutching at a necklace that she's wearing. Thank you, she says. I love it. For the lady of the house, Damien replies. Alex goes on to ask Damien about Lily, his sister. Your mother must have really loved her. She kept all of her things. She had a thing for Lily, Damien says. She was like her doll, which is a weird way to put it. It sounds like,
yeah.
To me, it almost sounds like resentful in a way. Like, oh, she had a thing for her. It's like her doll.
Yeah, a doll is not, I don't look at that as like a positive thing to be describing someone, yeah.
Not at all. Suddenly we hear a few loud bangs outside. They sound like gunshots. And the sound startles Alex a bit, but Damien says that, well, everyone hunts around here. Alex seems a little uncomfortable hearing this, as she thought this would have been private property. We make a quick cut now. Nice quick cut to the two of them having sex after dinner. When they reach the end, so to speak, Alex says to Damien, wait, stay. So he does. I literally sat there for a solid minute figuring out how the fuck I was going to write this.
Wait.
Basically, she said, don't pull out.
Yes.
That's basically what she said.
Okay, yeah.
So good for them, I guess.
Yeah.
The next morning, Alex is out for a run with her headphones on, and she's running in the woods. Again, their property is very middle of nowhere, English countryside. But she comes across another old building and just, takes note of it for now. When she gets home, she finds Damien in his office working. She tries to get his attention, but, he's really focused right now. And when he finally responds, she's like, I'm hungry. And he's like,
mood.
I know. he's like, okay. He's like, I'm working. And she's like, no, I'm hungry and there's nothing in the fridge. It seems kind of like awkward, angry at first, but then like he turns around and they both kind of give a little chuckle. And I'm like, okay, like, good for you guys. Like that was super awkward, but okay.
Yeah, it feels like they do have like a good relationship, though.
Yeah,
right. That's the vibe.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yes, and we're gonna talk about this at the end because there's actually a lot to that. But for now, I'm gonna say yes. I believe that is the intention.
Okay.
So they kind of laugh together, but then they head out and they go to the store to get some food. Now, at the shop, there's an older woman there who sees Alex and Damien and kind of has this flash of recognition across her face as she calls out to Damien saying, oh, Damien Miller, is that you? Damien honestly looks like he doesn't recognize this woman at all as she continues to make comments like, oh, look at you. I can't believe it. How have you been? She's very sweet and friendly. Okay. Until suddenly her face gets dark.
Oh.
She looks at Damien and says, so have you been a good boy?
Ew.
I know. Damien's face falls and she continues, I wouldn't like to hear of you getting up to any mischief now, would I, Damien? Alex has a bit of an amused look on her face because she's just kind of like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's real. That would be me. I'd almost be laughing, but like, what the fuck?
Right. It's like this awkward, like kind of smile on her face where she's like, what? Like,
yeah.
Suddenly, this old woman snaps out of it and it's like, okay, great seeing you guys. All right, bye. So the woman leaves. And of course, Alex immediately is like, who is that?
Yep.
What was that? And he's like, I have no idea.
Did you believe him in his delivery when you watched that? Okay, no, so he knows. That's weird. And I'm like, ever since he told us the story of like Maeve and like the twins, I'm just like gonna be bringing everything back to that because it feels important. So I'm like, is that like something that carries down generation after generation? And she's like waiting to see if he's turned out as like evil or good.
Right.
Okay. Oh my God. Right. Okay. No. Okay. I'm fine. Sorry. Okay. So many theories are running through my head right now. And I'm like, what if he's a twin and the other twin, like his mom literally just had to murder the other twin. And that's why she's in an institution. I don't know.
Theories.
Okay.
Later that night, the couple lay in bed and Alex brings up the castle / old building that she saw when she was out on her run. Damien tells her, oh, that's Bridgewood, the boarding school that he attended when he was a kid. But Alex thinks it's kind of funny. She's like, you attended boarding school 3 miles from your house? And he just, he laughs and says, what's wrong with that? Best school in the county. Like, he kind of recognizes that's silly, but he just goes with it.
Sure.
And then Alex just smiles over Damien as he falls asleep. She just watches him fall asleep, which, I mean, like, when I say it, it sounds creepy, but it's cute. Yeah. It's not like she's like, hey, I'm going to watch you sleep now.
yeah. I mean, you got to be careful of that in a horror movie. You got to clarify.
You really do. The next morning, Alex heads downstairs and realizes that the front door is open. There's also a pot knocked over on the front step. Damien says, well, an animal must have knocked it over. And Alex is like, well, but what about the door? An animal couldn't have opened the front door. Damien, of course, blames, you guessed it, the wind.
Ugh, wow.
It's always the wind.
I think that might be our first like wind call out actually on the pod. I'm surprised we haven't seen it more.
Yeah, I feel like I see it in every movie.
Right.
It was the wind. Okay.
So annoying.
It's a weird occurrence, but we eventually kind of just shrug it off. It's like, yeah, I guess that's weird. Which, like, in this situation, are you shrugging that off or are you gonna do, like, I mean, what can you do, right?
The thing is, what can you do? It's not to the point where I'm gonna, like, try to get away from this house, so I guess I would end up shrugging it off.
Yeah.
I would definitely, like, look through, like, every nook and cranny of the house, though, for sure. Just to make sure.
Yeah, because I would be definitely afraid that somebody came inside.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the other thing about this part. Do you want to know how low my standards are for men? Not that you don't already know, but so there's the pot on the front step, right? And it's like knocked over and the dirt fell out of it. And like at this point, like, you know, they're like, whatever, we'll shrug it off. And then Damien like leans over and cleans it up and like puts the dirt back into the pot. And I got so excited.
Yeah.
Because he did it. Because I feel like, I know it's crazy, but it's like always the woman that would do that.
Yeah.
And so like my low standards were like, oh my God, he cleaned up the pot. That's amazing. Look at him go.
I do feel that. Like the littlest things are just such a big deal to me. So I'm in the same boat as you.
You get it. So Alex is out for another run. Couldn't be me, but like you keep it up, girly. And when she makes it back home, there are police officers at the front door talking to Damien.
Oh.
Alex makes her way over to them. She looks a little concerned, and the officers catch her up on what's going on. They're investigating a missing person case and wanted to see if the couple had any information. They ask her if she's seen anything weird in the past few days, and she immediately tells them about, you know, the pot in the door. And Damien interrupts her saying, no, that was nothing. Remember, we talked about it. It was an animal and the wind. It was nothing.
That's weird. That's weird that he would like jump in and cut her off and be like, no, it was nothing. Like, just let her. So what if it's nothing? Like, let the police decide if it's nothing. They're asking, she's answering.
Yep. I didn't like that either. I didn't like that at all.
Yeah.
One of the officers pulls out a photograph and asks if either of them have seen this woman. Damien says no, they haven't. And Alex looks at him a little uncomfortably, but she agrees. We haven't seen this woman.
Oh.
The officers thank them for their time and head on out. Once they're gone, Alex turns to Damien and says, why did you do that? And he's like, do what? And she goes, lie. Alex says that the woman from the photo was the woman from the shop.
I was thinking like, oh my God, what? And she was older, like how old?
Late 60s, 70s probably.
Yeah, that's what I was picturing. Okay. Oh my God. At the very least, what do you, that's so weird. No, why is he this sus? Why is he so sus? Like, you can't be this sus this early on. You're doing it wrong, buddy. Like, what's going on?
I know. So, because she's like that, we saw that lady. What's up?
Wait, would you, like, in this situation, would you have backed your man and agreed that you hadn't seen her? Or would you say to the police, we saw her at the store yesterday, actually?
You know, it's funny because I, like, have a whole thing on this.
Okay,
wait, hold on. Give me 1 second. Because, like, so Damien's all like, I didn't lie. Because, like, we don't know that woman and this has nothing to do with us. But he like looks at her and is like, but if you want to go talk to them and drag us into it, go ahead, he says.
Okay, I will.
And I literally wrote down, I'm never lying to a cop. If I'm her, I'm 100% going back over to them and telling them what I saw.
Absolutely.
Yes.
100%. He's so, like, genuinely, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. He goes, I didn't lie. We don't know her.
Right. That wasn't the question.
That doesn't correlate whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's weird of him to say, though, unless it's just like a manipulation tactic and he knows she's not going to, for him to say, like, go ahead and tell them. Because obviously the only reason that you're lying in that situation is because you know something and you're hiding something.
Yep.
Like, that's weird. So then, oh man, I just know she's not going to go and tell the police, which is I think he knows that too. And he's so sus. And I don't know what the hell's going on.
That's about right. That's about how I feel. And yes, she doesn't go back over. We just cut later into the night, and Damien's working in his study, and Alex is out feeding the chickens, and she hears 3 gunshots that startle her. And she must seem to think they're too close to the house because the next thing we know, Damien and Alex are heading down the road towards where they heard the gunshots. And Damien is insisting that Alex go back to the house. He'll take care of it. But she refuses and continues to follow him. Alex and Damien come across a group of 3 men who seem to have essentially set up camp on the property.
What the hell?
they have a trailer and they just like have a ton of junk. So it's like they've been there a while. Like there's just a ton of crap just like in this corner. And like it's a huge property. Yeah. But like this is like in like a back corner and they find them over there. Damien like introduces himself and Alex to the men and he's like, we're your neighbors. And he wants to know like what kind of agreement did you guys have with my mother in regards to, you know, like hunting on the property, like, you know, what's going on? And they just kind of laugh and they refer to Damien's mother as a crazy old bat and they're just really disrespectful and they do not give a shit about anything that Damien has to say right now. One of the men also seems to be a tad bit out of his mind because he just keeps laughing and like repeating what the other one says. And he like, I didn't even write this down, but like he holds up like a dead animal to them. And like is like, it's a gift. And Damien's like,
no, thank
no,
you.
that's okay.
Yeah, what the fuck?
You can keep that. That's all right.
You said there's 3 of them?
There's 3 of them. And so there's the guy who's laughing. His name is Dee. Okay. The other 2, I don't know their names, but like one of them's clearly the leader. And then the other one's just sort of there. Right. Yeah. You know, like there's just so there's 3. There's some other random dude.
Exactly. Well, okay, if you're going to act like that, like you no longer are allowed to be here. So leave or I will file a report.
Yep. That's what I would say. Yeah. Because Damien, the way Damien goes about it, he's like, you can continue to hunt here. Just stay away from the house. Sure. Just stay away from my house. Yeah. Basically, he's just willing to let them stick around as long as they stay away from the house. But these men are pretty, I know. I feel like he just like doesn't want trouble, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I don't want 3 random dudes like living on my property.
Yeah, that's super uncomfortable, especially with like, now I would be thinking, did they get into my house last night? Were they the ones who like caused the commotion?
Yeah, so these guys are very rude. They're very unreasonable and they don't really give a shit about private property. They even tell Damien like, why don't you get off ours? Like referring to the spot they're sitting on as their own private property. And the guy, like the main guy, like grabs out his shotgun, not to like, you know, use it, but he just like grabs it in a way where he's like, I have this right here. You know, like a little bit of a intimidation technique here. Yeah. And Alex urges Damien to like, just let it go. Like, just like, let's go. They begin to walk away to the sounds of Dee just laughing hysterically in the background. He's the laughing fella.
Like, just that alone, like, please go somewhere else. You guys are creeping me out.
Yeah, they're creepy. They're rude. They shouldn't be there. Yeah. No, thank you. So that night, Alex is laying in bed, tossing and turning and gasping when she suddenly jolts awake. Seems like she was having a nightmare. And she gets up and goes to use the bathroom, splashing some cold water on her face. We also get a very intentional shot of her hand, like on her stomach, you know, like holding her stomach.
Interesting.
Is there a baby in there?
Oh my God. Are there twins in there?
Oh my God. Not the twins.
I'm terrified of twins now all of a sudden.
Yes, you should be. You should be. While she's looking in the mirror, she suddenly hears the sound of floorboards creaking. And she calls a couple of times out for Damien, but gets no response. So she walks back into the bedroom, and Damien is no longer in bed. And Alex looks concerned. Alex slowly and cautiously makes her way down the hall, still calling for Damien. Eventually, she does find him, standing outside, facing away from her, perfectly still. Ew. There's nothing worse than someone just like standing still, staring into nothing.
And staring away from you. Yes. It like puts me in Blair Witch anxiety. Like the whole facing the wall. It's kind of the same thing.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know if like whenever I see that concept used, I'm always like Blair Witch. Yes. And it's like, that's what it always triggers in my head. I'm like, yeah, no thanks. Yeah. She walks around to the other side of Damien where he stands with his eyes closed. She quietly calls his name a couple of times, but he doesn't respond, so she lightly taps him on the shoulder. Damien wakes up and his eyes shoot open. Alex looks at him and says, "You were sleeping." Damien responds with, "I heard a noise. Someone is watching us." And he slowly heads back into the house. Oh. Yeah, that scared the shit out of me.
Do we know how long these two have been together?
I don't think we do, but they are married.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's been, you know, it's been some time.
I mean, if we're talking, yeah, I don't know. I would want to leave. Like, I would not want to like be in the same house as this person. But it's harder like when you have years together. But then at the same time, if this has never happened before, like he doesn't sleepwalk. He doesn't talk in his sleep. And then now we're in this new environment that's super creepy and weird things have been happening and he's been acting weird and now he's doing like this is at the point where I would be. It's like, where do I go though? They have one car.
Yeah, they've got one car.
Like, I also wouldn't want to like, I'm not so in danger that I feel like I need to leave him behind and like steal his car and get out. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I would be so uncomfortable. And I would probably tell him, like, I want to sleep in separate bedrooms because something's been going on at night with you and I'm scared.
Right. Yeah.
Like, and also please go see someone.
Yeah. Please like get help.
Yes.
So actually, this is the score check-in one. And
okay.
I mean,
I gotta go 100.
Yeah, same.
But I'm unsettled. Like physically, survivability is 100. Mentally, I'm scared that it's gonna. I don't know. Anything could happen at this point, so I'm still very scared.
Yes, yeah, that's valid. The next day, the Miller's car pulls up to a very bland-looking kind of office building of sorts, and Alex and Damien walk inside. A man in a suit greets us and asks Damien if he would like to see his mother beforehand. She's just downstairs in the sitting room. Damien says, maybe another day. They're in a bit of a rush right now, so let's just take care of the forms. Alex asks the man in the suit where the bathrooms are, and he points her, he says, just down the hall. And Damien goes off with this man to work on these forms.
I need to go sneak my way down to the mother and talk to her and get some answers. Why does he not want to see his mom so bad? I'm so sus of him. I'm like being too much, but this is where I'm at.
But you're real for that. Because like, I will say he's acting weird too. Like when you're looking at him, you're not trusting this man. Like just his little mannerisms and stuff throughout this are also like, why are you being like this?
Yeah.
It is strange. And I will say that Alex does not go to the bathroom. She does, in fact, go downstairs.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Which, like we're making good decisions, right? Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So down in the sitting room, it's honestly like really depressing down there. There's just like 3 different elderly people sitting like by themselves. One of them's just staring into nothing. One's like on an iPad. And then there's another woman sitting by the window. Alex makes her way over to this woman and says, Mrs. Miller? The woman seems to be lost in her own world, and it's not until Alex calls out her name a second time that she slowly looks over. When Mrs. Miller notices Alex, she invites her to sit down, almost as if, she knows her. She calls out to one of the staff and asks them to bring over some tea for this young child, as she puts it.
Okay.
A woman comes over and fills up a teacup for Alex, one for Mrs. Miller, and then Mrs. Miller holds up another teacup, a third one, and sets that down on the table. She's much too young to have tea, but she loves it, so what can I do? Alex looks at her a bit confused and asks, who? Mrs. Miller replies with, my daughter, Lily. Alex glances over at the third teacup, which is sitting in front of an empty chair. Alex, just lets that go and takes the time to introduce herself. She says, hi, I'm Alex, Damien's wife. Mrs. Miller smiles at Alex, but seems to have little to no recognition of what she's talking about. She then goes on to say, aren't you so young to be married already? It's never too late to run away. Never. My husband was a brute of a man, angry, nasty, a bad breed of man. It's in the blood, evil.
Oh my God, like the evil. That's interesting. Her saying like the evil from the one lore story is just carrying down through every boy that's born rather than it having to like carry down the tradition of like evil good twins running in the family.
Right.
That's interesting. Yeah, so divorce.
Exactly. It's like, oh, is that how you feel? Okay, goodbye. Alex is definitely like freaked out by this little monologue that she has, especially because when Mrs. Miller finishes her little story, she just starts like laughing.
Oh.
And then she looks at Alex and says, so how far along are you?
Oh, yeah. So she knows shit. So you need to listen to her. Oh my God.
And Alex is just like, what? Like, sorry? And Mrs. Miller's like, the baby. You should be resting. Alex looks concerned and scared because how, like, she's not like she's showing at all. She's just like, how does she know I'm pregnant? But at this moment, Damien walks up to the table and says to Alex, I was looking for you. Now, for some reason,
oh God,
Alex goes, Damien, this is as if she's like genuinely about to introduce him to his mother. And he's like, yeah, I know who that is. Thank you.
That's kind of funny. No, that's something I would do on accident for sure.
Damien, this is your mom. Thanks. Mrs. Miller looks at Damien and just says, hello, young man. She definitely does not seem to recognize him.
Oh, well, that's interesting that she like she seems to sense things about Alex and like know things about her and is like, get away, you're pregnant, blah blah blah. But then with him, she's just like, hello.
Hi, young man.
Yeah.
So Damien, he has no interest in whatever this is, and he just looks at Alex and says, I'll wait for you in the car. When Alex gets out to the car, she immediately apologizes to Damien, saying she didn't want to upset him, but she just wanted to meet his mother. So Damien gets really angry and is like, she's a senile old woman and I have no interest in talking to her or seeing her. I don't want you to either. Do you understand? And he's like yelling at this point. And Alex just kind of is like, yep, I get it. And Damien insists that they never talk about this again.
Honestly, if like I think he's valid to be upset that she went and met his mom behind his back, but just the way that he's obviously getting that across and screaming and being like a dick about it, it just makes me be like, okay, well, I just don't have empathy for you. Like, you're annoying.
It's crazy. Like, that's exactly how I felt. I don't love that she I love that she went behind his back for the movie reasons.
Yeah.
But like, I think that was kind of rough. But he's just being insane about it. So it's like, all right, bye.
Exactly. Chill. It's just like adding on to like how weird he's been lately. I'd be more scared. I just keep getting more and more scared of him.
Right. I don't know if this is the same day or the next day or another day or whatever, but Damien is walking around the upstairs of the home. He walks into a bedroom that's completely empty except for a bed frame and a sink. It's kind of like a weird room. I don't know.
Okay.
Like, it's a tiny, tiny room. Like, I immediately get the vibe that, like, this is his old room.
Okay.
And then he looks down at the floor, and on the floor there's a box of tapes labeled Bridgewood. Like, there's a sticker that says Bridgewood, and his name is written on them. And there's, like, a ton of them.
Do we know what Bridgewood is? Is that just the town?
The boarding school.
Oh, the boarding school. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
He leaves this room and then walks into his sister's room. He walks around looking at her things before we quickly cut to that picture of Lily from the bedside, but it's burning in a fire now. Damien has created a fire outside and is standing over the fire, tossing Lily's things into it.
Oh.
He has 3 cardboard boxes next to him, as though he has like all of this stuff that he's planning on burning of hers.
Okay, you know what you could take from like how you could interpret this too, though, is the fact that I think his mom was aware and worried about him like being evil because of the family lore. And it's interesting that like the bedroom that he's going in is just like an empty shell of a room. And then his sister's room like has all this life and bright, happy like things in it. And the fact that he got sent away to a boarding school, I'm not sure if she did. So I think maybe he like could have resentment toward his mom for treating him the way she did, resentment toward his sister for being treated so well. And that's why he's doing this. And it doesn't necessarily mean he's like evil. He just has issues because his mom raised him thinking he would be evil, and that has an effect on a person. But then why are you so sus?
Right. Right. So. Exactly. Like, there are definitely different ways to look at it, but the overall sus energy of Damien is like what's going to take over your brain.
Yes.
While you're watching it, even though like everything you just said, like I agree. Like you do get those vibes 100%. Just the way like even when Alex was talking to Mrs. Miller and she was still talking about Lily but had no idea who Damien was. It was like, yes, we're constantly getting that energy.
Yeah.
So later that night, Alex is out by the chicken coop when she hears what sounds like something between a howl and a cry. It's coming from the stone tower. She makes her way up to the tower.
Oh my God. Okay, girl, first of all, what are you doing out at night after all this shit that's been going on? And then you hear a sound from the stone tower and you're just going to go over there and see what's up?
Yeah.
This is the first major red flag I have for our main girlie. Like, please, no.
Fair enough. So she gets up there and she sees a baby sitting on the ground crying.
Oh, okay. We're dreaming. Yeah. Okay. Oh my God.
I was like, I'm going to let her go off right now on this woman.
I got so triggered. Okay, this makes me so happy.
You were so quickly triggered, which is so valid though. So she sees this baby sitting on the ground and she's like slowly approaching it. But then we get a nice jump scare of like the banshee woman just like screaming into the camera. Mm-hmm. And then we see Alex jolt up in bed. She sits
Okay.
up.
Yep.
She's woken up from her nightmare, but being awake isn't much better. Damien sits on the bed facing away from her, sobbing.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
I would rather he be devastated.
Yeah, honestly, the crying is making me more comfortable. Like, if he was silent, that's what I can't take.
It was so fair, though. Alex glances at him and says, "Where have you been?" Which, like, at this moment, I'm like, huh? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Damien just starts rambling about how they're bad people. Alex, of course, asks him who he's talking about, and he just says, them. All of them. Damien continues to sob as he speaks. They have the evil inside. Alex tries to comfort him, telling him that he's, it's a bad dream. Like, she's like, I'm going to change you out of these clothes and then get you into bed. Mm-hmm. It's now that we pan down to see that Damien is wearing his rubber boots and they're covered in mud. Mm-hmm. And his clothes are all like wet and dirty. So it's like, what was he up to? We don't know. The next morning, Alex comes downstairs to Damien, making breakfast. He's chipper. He's in a good mood. But Alex, of course, seems uneasy. Mm-hmm. He's just going on talking about his day so far. I guess he went out riding for an hour. I don't know riding what, but he was riding a bike, a horse. I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
But he's really excited about it. And then Alex just kind of cuts him off eventually and is like, you don't remember? Of course, Damien's like, remember what? What are you talking about? And Alex fills him in. He was sleepwalking last night and his clothes were all wet and dirty. Mm-hmm. Damien seems extremely confused and Alex is being understanding, saying that she knows that like this, it's something that happens. Sleepwalking's pretty common. It's it's fine. And she even tells him that she spoke to her psychiatrist about it and she thinks it would be beneficial for him to talk to somebody about it, like you said before. Yeah. And Damien actually is like kind of upset. He's like, oh, you're talking to your psychiatrist about me? Like, why?
Well, yes, you're like my husband.
Literally, right?
What the fuck?
Like, of course I did.
Yeah.
Damien's like, okay, let me get this straight. You say my clothes were wet and my boots were muddy, right? Alex nods and Damien gestures to his rubber boots on the floor, saying, those boots? Alex turns and looks at the boots, which are now perfectly pristine. Of course, she asks him, like, did you clean them? Mm-hmm. And Damien gets a little sarcastic and he's like, I don't know. Did you see me clean them while I was sleepwalking?
Okay.
Maybe I'm sleepwalking right now.
Okay.
Which, like, what?
Yeah, he's annoying. Like, okay, even if he's totally innocent in all of this, he's not innocent in my eyes because he's just fucking annoying. Like, yeah.
He's being a piece of shit right now.
Do you get a vibe that, like, do you believe him and you're like, oh, shoot, maybe, like, mind tricks are happening in her head? Or do you continue to get the vibe that he's just, like, lying and hiding things and being an asshole?
I'll be honest, it's really hard to read him.
Okay.
Because
I like that.
It's so bizarre that it's like he can't possibly just be acting like this. But at the same time, I'm like, you definitely clean the boots.
Yeah.
Like you're being weird about I don't know.
Okay.
I was having a hard time reading the situation myself.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So Alex looks at Damien and is like, what? Do you not believe me? Damien looks her dead in the eye and just says, are you drinking again? This is clearly a sensitive topic because Alex just stares at him in
I remember
disbelief.
him. He got all the alcohol out of the house when they first came in. That's why. I figured it was for himself. I don't know why I made that assumption.
I would have too.
Yeah.
But he just continues on. He's like, you are, aren't you? He goes, let me smell your breath.
Oh my God.
And Alex is just like appalled. Like she's just staring at him.
Yeah.
And she's like, how dare you? You know better than anyone that I haven't had a drop in almost 2 years. Yeah. Oh, so they've known each other for at least 2 years.
Minimum, yeah.
She just gets up and leaves Damien alone at the table. And she does probably, honestly, I think this is a great decision. She goes out for a walk with her headphones on.
Okay.
Like, get out of the house, get away from him, put some music on. Like, because I just, like he's being insane.
Yeah.
And like that, what he just did was horrible.
Bad energy in the house, on the property, in him. Like,
exactly.
Yeah. Clear your head.
Alex is walking through the woods when suddenly we see a man behind her approaching her. She can't hear them because she has her headphones on.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly, this man just jumps and attacks her and takes her to the ground.
Oh my God.
We then realize it's Dee Dee.
Oh, yeah.
Our laughing crazy dude.
Yeah.
He covers her mouth so she can't scream. And another one of the men, the leader, walks up and tells Alex that this is hunting grounds and she better be watching her step. He then says, your husband should know that more than anyone. The man tells Dee Dee to get up off of Alex, and they just leave her there, laying on the ground, and walk away.
What the hell?
Alex quickly just gets up and sprints back home.
I cannot wait to hear how Damien's gonna react to this.
Oh, I know. Back at home, Alex decides to take a bath. And while she's sitting in the bath, you hear Damien call from the hall and be like, hey, are you okay in there? And she's like, yeah, I'm fine. She definitely did not tell him what happened.
And oh my God, she just is. That pisses me off. I mean, well, it's like he's been so annoying that I feel like she just feels like she can't confide in him. At this point, he won't do anything about it anyways.
Exactly. And that's exactly where she's at right now. And it sucks because like she doesn't feel comfortable here with him, but she also doesn't feel comfortable leaving because like of all the weird stuff. So she's like super isolated.
It's so fucking annoying that they only have one car. Like if it was 2 cars, I'd be like, I need to go like stay somewhere else. Like I'm feeling crazy here. Like we're having issues. I need some space. Like I would do that at this point, but I just feel bad about the car. Like, and then I would feel bad. I might ask him, like, can you drive me into town? Like, let me stay at a hotel for a couple of days. Like, I need some space. But honestly, at this point, even asking that of him, I feel like he'd blow up at me.
Right. Like, I'd be nervous about how he'd react to that.
Yeah.
So that night, Damien lays in bed while Alex lays next to him, wide awake. She has her eyes on the back of his head, like watching him like a hawk. Suddenly, Damien starts to twitch and grunt. His body finally lays still before his eyes shoot wide open. I gotta say it's a good shot because it's like he's like, ah, and then suddenly he just stops and his eyes go boop, wide open.
Nice.
He slowly sits up and puts on his jacket. And I do want to note that like he doesn't seem like he's awake. He seems very much like he's, in a trance, sleepwalking. His eyes are open, but like his movements are very robotic and he's not acting like a normal human.
Mm-hmm.
He slowly stands up and walks for the bedroom door. Alex follows him. She pulls out her phone and starts recording him as he heads out the front door, which is a smart move.
So smart. I love that.
Get it on tape, like so that she can be like, hey, look at this. Damien heads outside and Alex continues to follow him. Damien's really going for a stroll tonight because we start walking through the woods. And Alex is following, but keeping a safe distance, just, in case he wakes up or whatever. Yeah. She doesn't want him to know that she's following him. Damien leads us straight to the other building that we saw before, straight to Bridgewood.
Oh.
When we get to like around the property line, he stops and glances behind him as though he heard something. But Alex, quickly dives behind a tree to avoid being seen.
Mm-hmm.
And then he continues onward and heads into the abandoned Bridgewood building. So Alex follows over. She gets inside. It's like classic, creepy, abandoned, old school sort of vibes. And we've lost sight of Damien at this point. So we're just like wandering around this creepy building in the middle of the night. And Alex comes across a room with old bed frames in it. And then a bathroom that has to have like 25 sinks in it. It's like, like a bath, like the whole thing is just lined with sinks.
Everything's communal.
Mm-hmm. So she heads back into the hallway and she looks over at the stairway, and on the stairway we can see like the silhouette of a man passing by as he walks up, and it's not Damien.
Okay.
And she's like, oh shit. So she quickly backs into a room to hide. And when the man comes into view, we again realize it's Dee Dee.
Huh.
Alex stays hidden in a corner of this room behind a chair, trying to control her breathing, which suddenly becomes very difficult for her because she turns and looks at the other corner of the room. Sitting in a chair facing the wall is the corpse of the missing woman, and she's wearing a is it dunce hat? Like, you know, the pointy hat with like you know what I'm talking about?
No, what? Pointy
You've never
hat?
seen those?
Wait, I want to look this up.
Yeah, look it up. It's dunce hat. And it's like an old thing that like you would put on your head. Like it was like a timeout kind of thing back in old schools. They'd put you in the corner with the dunce hat. Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm seeing, this is so creepy. What the hell? I've never ever seen this before, known of this.
Really?
Okay. That's so, and she's sitting in a chair. What the hell?
Yeah. Like her body is just like in the chair and she's wearing the hat. Alex has to cover her own mouth like physically to keep herself quiet because obviously like this is a horrifying sight for her.
Mm-hmm.
We make a sudden cut to morning.
Oh my God.
Alex is sitting on the back of an ambulance wrapped in a blanket drinking a coffee.
What is happening? What is happening? Did she call? Okay.
She called the cops.
Okay. Okay. That's good.
So a police officer, the same one from earlier, comes over to Alex and asks if she wouldn't mind going over her statement one more time with her colleague here. And of course, she agrees. The officer begins to recount the story that Alex had told her. So you were out for your early morning run when you passed Bridgewood. You heard a noise inside and decided to investigate. The officer seems a little skeptical about this story because, like, why was she running at that hour and why would you hear a noise and go inside? But she doesn't really push it. The officer also confirms with Alex that she saw her neighbor Dee Dee inside the building, correct?
Mm.
She didn't see anybody else in the area, right?
Oh,
Alex confirms this.
Oh my God. No, what would you do? What would you tell them?
This one's hard because I want to just be like, I don't know. At this point, I'm like scared.
Mm-hmm.
I'm scared of Damien, but also like, that's my husband.
Mm-hmm.
Am I going to give him up right then?
And it did genuinely seem like sleepwalking. It didn't seem like he was like out on his own, like being suspicious.
Right.
You know, like if I saw him, like if it didn't seem like he was sleepwalking and he was being like genuinely just an evil person, I would report him. Mm-hmm. But because it seems like he was sleepwalking, and that's where it's tricky, where I don't want him to get in trouble for sleepwalking. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a tough one for me, whether or not I'd be honest.
Yeah, because like it's not just like a random night where he's sleepwalking. Like he's been acting weird outside of that. So yeah, I don't know what I would do.
The officers thank Alex and tell her that her husband is waiting for her just over there. Alex looks concerned at the fact that Damien's here. The officers tell her, well, they informed him of her whereabouts because they thought he might be worried, you know, wondering where she was. So Alex either told Damien the same story that she told them, or the cops had filled him in because Damien is looking at her saying, I don't understand. Why did you go running in the woods in the middle of the night with these crazy guys around? Alex just keeps her mouth shut, and Damien suddenly seems to reach like a height of frustration that we haven't seen from him before, where he quickly like whips on his turn signal and makes a sharp turn. And Alex looks at him concerned, like, what are we doing? Where are we going? Yeah. And he's like, aren't you hungry? I know I am. And everything he's saying is very aggressive and over the top.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to show him this video. She better.
I know. Next thing we know, we're sitting at a table in a restaurant. And the waiter comes over and Damien says, I think I'll have a beer. Actually, make it 2.
What the fuck is wrong with him? Like, literally, like, drop me off at a hotel. I'm so mad at that point that I don't care if he's going to be upset with me needing that or asking for that. And honestly, I'll walk. I'll hitch a ride. Literally, I will hitch a ride with a stranger over dealing with you right now.
Exactly. No, you're so real for that. So Alex is staring at him in disbelief when we realize that Damien is eating a hamburger. He looks up at her and gives us like a, this is delicious. You should try it.
My God.
And Alex is, of course, looking at him like, but you don't eat meat. He looks back at her and says, you don't usually go running in the middle of the night looking for dead bodies either, do you?
What point are you trying to prove?
Like, he's acting at this point where I'm like, is that even him anymore? Because he's just like true madman energy.
Yeah.
Like over the top. So, like, to me, the way he's acting right now doesn't make any sense.
It feels demonic.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel watching this. I'm like, what? Why is he acting like this?
Yeah.
He insists that Alex tells him what's going on. And Alex, she's not crying yet, but she's like her eyes are welling up and she's definitely overcome at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently she was a teacher there, she says. The dead woman.
Oh.
She was a teacher in your school and you say you don't remember her.
Yeah.
Damien's like, no, I guess I don't. Why should I? And Alex says, because you brought me to her.
Mm-hmm.
She pulls out her phone and shows Damien the video she took from the night before. You were sleepwalking again, she says. Damien looks at the video and says, I don't know what I'm looking at. It's too dark. I can't see anything.
Shut the fuck up.
He throws the phone back to her, but not before deleting the video.
Like, I'm waiting for the he's been so obviously literally evil that I'm like waiting for the twist that he actually isn't, but then it just keeps going. And I'm like, oh my God, like it's so frustrating.
I know, exactly. Alex looks down at her phone, realizing Damien deleted the video as a waiter comes over and drops 2 beers on the table. Damien picks one up and takes a large swig before telling Alex that she should have some.
Oh my God. Why?
Alex, I know. Like
why?
Literally, it's so like you just get to a point where you're like, okay. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Alex looks him straight in the face and says, why are you doing this? Mm-hmm. He says if that she's going to be drinking again, he'd prefer that they do it together. Alex continues to deny that she's been drinking, but Damien will not believe her. She's just not making any sense, going off in the middle of the night and accusing him of stuff. It seems more that he doesn't want to believe her than actually not believing her, and it's driving him insane.
I could see that, yeah.
He holds the beer out to her one more time and tells her to drink it. Alex finally snaps and screams at him, saying she's not drinking. She then quietly says, I'm pregnant. Damien just stares at her. Score check 2.
Oh.
Which, yeah.
100. The only death that's happened is like the teacher.
Which we don't know anything about.
Exactly. But that was off screen and like I feel like we're very much just going full Alex mode as far as survivability check-ins for this one. So yeah, we're still at 100. My like, will you murder someone is probably at like a 52 because I might fucking murder him here right now in this booth.
Valid! So we're on our way home now from the restaurant and the car is swerving. It seems like Damien is drunk driving, but pretty sure I only had the 1 beer.
Yeah.
But he also kind of looks as though he's falling asleep at the wheel.
Okay.
And then eventually he just stops the car and gets out and throws up.
Perfect. Okay, perfect. He's out. I take that car. Goodbye. Have fun.
Bye, asshole.
Yeah.
So Alex must have been worried about him because when we get back to the house, Damien is laying in bed and we have a doctor here looking over him. The doctor tells us that Damien's temperature is a high 103 and that his lymph nodes are swollen.
Oh my God, that's really high.
The doctor says that he's going to give Damien a shot and then follow it up with a prescription. The doctor begins to administer the shot into Damien's arm when Damien suddenly grabs at the doctor. He gets a really intense look in his eye as he squeezes the doctor's arm harder and harder. The doctor tells him to cut it out, but he doesn't. Finally, Alex comes over, just kind of like screaming like, Damien! And he does stop. He lets go. The doctor quickly packs up his stuff and heads out the door. Alex goes running after him, asking him about the prescription. He quickly writes it out, hands it to her, and goes to get in his car. Before he closes the door, he looks at Alex and says, is he, And then he pauses. And then he says, never mind. Good luck. Oh. And he drives away.
Excuse me? Again, I'm driving away with him. Like,
right?
Any chance?
What do you mean?
Ever since the diner and him deleting that video and trying to get me to be an alcoholic again, like,
I know.
I'm out of here in any way possible.
So Alex goes to take the prescription to the pharmacy, and on the way there, she calls her psychiatrist, and she asks her if it's possible for a sleepwalker to commit a violent act in their sleep and then not remember it the next morning.
It is.
But naturally, the psychiatrist, she's like, okay, that's like a weird question.
Yeah.
Has Damien been hurting you? Like, what's going on? And Alex is like, no. Like, that's not what's happening. I'm just worried because he's been really restless at night and I'm afraid that he's going to get aggressive. We don't see the end of this conversation, but next Alex heads into the pharmacy to drop off this prescription. And she's talking to the pharmacist when the pharmacist shares that she never liked that place, Bridgewood. She's very happy that they shut it down. Alex is like, oh, you mean the boarding school? And the pharmacist tells Alex, oh no, that's not a boarding school. It was a reformatory, a prison for minors, really.
Oh my God.
So it's some fun new information.
Yeah.
Like I would, Alex that night decides to do some Googling.
Mm-hmm.
She looks up Bridgewood and comes across an article titled The Dead Children of Bridgewood.
Oh.
This
okay.
Cute. This article tells us that 11 children inexplicably died while at Bridgewood. She finds another article. This one's about a doctor from Bridgewood who went on trial for secret genetic experiments that were being done on these children.
Mm.
Now, I think Alex actually wakes up Damien to ask him for more information on the situation because he was sleeping. Now we're sitting at the kitchen table and it's the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, why were you sent there? And he says, well, my mother didn't want me in the house. And she's like, okay, but why? Like, what did you do? And he goes, I don't remember. There's a long, silent pause before Damien speaks up and says, you think I killed that woman, don't you?
Well,
she
yeah.
Says
yeah, well, it's a possibility. Like, should not be fearful of saying that to him if he's innocent. Like, how do I describe? Like, I get that it's crazy to be like, hey, husband, did you murder somebody? Like, that's like not a comfortable conversation to have.
No.
But also, I would need to have that conversation and be like, I've been honestly like feeling this way and I need you to explain it to me. Like, I need you to like make me understand that this isn't true because I know you and I know you wouldn't do this. Like, if we're married, I know you wouldn't do this. So tell me you wouldn't do this, but that's not what he's going to do.
Right. And I know what you're saying too, like in terms of like, if he's consciously doing this, like saying that to him could be dangerous, but like unconsciously, like he's still acting weird about it.
Yeah.
The whole thing is just strange. When Damien asks Alex, like, do you think I killed the woman? She's just like, I don't know.
That's good.
Like, you know, next thing we know, Alex is tying Damien up in bed.
Oh.
His wrists are tied to the headboard. But this is something he clearly wants to happen because he's like awake and cooperating. And
okay,
he's like, okay, yes, tie me to this bed.
Wait, this is a big deal. This is like, okay, maybe it really is something's taking over you and you are blacking out and you cannot remember. But then I come back to the moment where with like the rubber boots where I'm like, I feel like the demon in you wouldn't clean those boots. And there is like your waking self is aware that something weird is going on and you're gaslighting her because you don't want it to be real, which is fucked up. But it is real. And I think this is promising because he's getting to the point where he's like, okay, I can't let this progress.
Exactly. Yeah, no, because this moment feels like such a weird switch from where we've been. It's like suddenly he's like, yeah, tie me to the bed. And you're like, oh, okay. Kinky, whatever.
Yeah. No, honestly, I was like ready for you to be like, this is just what they do. And I was like, oh, okay. Like I was ready to be just to accept that.
Like, no. Alex falls asleep in the chair next to the bed. And she wakes up when she hears Damien struggling and grunting in the middle of the night. He's trying to break free from the ropes. He's screaming, he's fighting, and he looks up at Alex and screams, no, bitch, let me go. Untie me, fucking C word that I don't like saying.
Oh my God, me too. I'm like so not against swearing. Like I swear a lot actually, but the C word is, I can't do it.
I don't like that one just feels super icky.
Yeah.
I can't say it.
Super common like UK swear word though. Like I feel like if I grew up in the UK, I'd probably like be chill with it just like they all are. But for some reason here, it's just like, oh, I can't.
Same way. So Damien's completely hysterical. He's screaming at Alex. He's definitely not himself right now, or he doesn't appear to me. And this absolutely terrifies Alex.
Yeah.
Obviously. She backs out of the room crying and she goes downstairs. We hear Damien continuing to scream and struggle, but Alex, I guess, eventually just falls asleep on the couch.
That's wild.
I know. I don't know how she falls asleep, but like next thing we know, she's waking up in the morning.
Okay.
The screaming is stopped, and so Alex heads back upstairs to the bedroom. In the bed, Damien lays awake. His wrists are covered in like bruises and cuts, like from fighting against the ropes. And when Alex walks in, Damien looks at her and he's calmly like, it's okay. Like, it's all right. It's going to be okay. But Alex just stares at him. Damien gets a concerned look on his face and says, untie me. Alex tells him, just, stay there, get some rest. and then she quietly begins to leave the room. Damien looks at her in disbelief and begins begging her not to leave him here. Like, you have to untie me. Why are you leaving me? And she just leaves the room without saying anything else.
I don't blame her. Me
neither.
I would have more of a conversation with him though. Like, I would tell him what happened last night, what I saw, and why I'm nervous about that, and he should be nervous about that too. So like,
right, exactly. Yeah. No, I don't blame her, but like, I also can understand from her perspective where she was just like, okay, bye. And, like, just left him there. Like, it's kind of insane.
Yeah.
So Alex sits in a chair outside of the doctor's office, the doctor from the day before.
Mm-hmm.
A man who the doctor is talking to comes out of his office and, says goodbye. So Alex decides it's her time to go speak to him. The doctor sees her and asks, like, how can I help you? Alex sits down and asks the doctor why he wished her good luck when he left the house yesterday. He's like, oh, I don't know. I'm not really sure what you're talking about.
Oh my God. Everyone in this town is a gaslighter.
Yeah. So Alex goes, Damien recognized you from Bridgewood, didn't he? What did you do to him? You experimented on him? The doctor stands up and goes over to the window looking outside. There was a lot of misunderstanding. We made quite good progress with our research, and I'm sure the results would have been extraordinary if the program hadn't been shut down.
Oh my God.
He's doubling down. He goes on to ask Alex if she thinks a child can be evil. Because if you believe in the child's innocence, then you'll understand that the evil in him is nothing more than a genetic mutation. Alex goes at the doctor saying that you killed those kids and you should rot in prison for the rest of your life. But the doctor rubs his acquittal in her face, being like, I went to trial and, I was acquitted and I was able to help so many families with what I was doing over there. I just wasn't able to help them all. He then says, now, I wish you very good luck, and I mean it. You see, I'm afraid evil sticks to some people no matter what you do. I saw it in his eyes, but maybe you like that sort of thing. Oh. Which is super weird. Like, I'm like, ew, like, excuse me, sir?
Yeah, like, obviously not. I'd rather not be killed by my husband. Who do you think I am?
Like, what kind of comment is that?
Yeah.
Alex picks up some papers off of his desks and just throws them on the floor, looks him in the face, and is like, you're disgusting, before she leaves the room. She goes back out to her car and pulls a file out of her jacket. It appears that she stole Damien's file. I guess it was just out on the desk. I don't know how she got it, but she snagged it.
You know what? I'll take it.
Exactly. She took that file. She looks over the file, and in the notes section, it says this: committed to a reformatory school for the killing of 9-year-old Elizabeth Miller. The victim died of a hemorrhage after suffering 2 bullet wounds in the abdomen.
Who is that? Miller?
So
that's his last name.
Yeah. So I'll tell you, my thought process here was, who's Elizabeth? But there is a nickname for Elizabeth.
Is it Lily?
It can be.
Oh, I didn't know that was a nickname for
I don't think it's common.
Yeah, then you bring it down to Lizzie, Elizabeth,
I think it's
Lizzie,
uncommon.
Lily. Yeah. Sure. Oh my God, wait. Can you reread what it said again now that I'm gathering this is probably his sister?
Committed to a reformatory school for the killing of 9-year-old Elizabeth Miller. The victim died of a hemorrhage after suffering 2 bullet wounds in the abdomen.
Okay. So he killed his sister. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I would probably send him somewhere for sure.
Yeah, you would think, right? Yeah. So when Alex gets home, the front door is wide open, and she hesitantly makes her way inside. She goes up to the bedroom and realizes that Damien is no longer in the bed, but he also doesn't seem to be anywhere around the house either.
We left him tied up, right?
We did.
Okay.
So she quickly raids her closet and begins to pack a bag, finally.
Okay.
Finally.
Yeah, at this point, I'm stealing the car, but I doubt that that's going to be a possibility. It's probably going to be gone or something's going to go wrong.
So she grabs her bag, she grabs the keys, and she takes them outside, getting ready to book it out of there. But who do we run into outside?
Dee Dee.
The other one. The leader guy.
The leader. Okay.
Obviously, we don't have time for him right now, but he's approaching her, asking her, where are you going with that suitcase of yours? Are you running away from something?
Yes.
Alex, we sure are, buddy. Alex asks the man what he wants, and he says that he wants her to clean up the mess that she made. She got Dee Dee involved in something that he had nothing to do with. He also knows that Damien was at Bridgewood that night, and the two of them are going to the cops together right now to make sure they fill him in on the true version of the story. And he does have his gun with him, so he's definitely threatening at the moment.
Is he saying it's her fault that Dee Dee was there because Dee Dee went following her, and that's her fault that he decided to follow her?
I think his issue is that, like, Dee Dee was there that night, but he's claiming Dee Dee had nothing to do with it, and he knows that she withheld Damien's presence from the police. So, like, he's just upset that, like, she, you know.
That part's valid, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where he's coming from. I kind of understand him, I'll be honest. I don't know if maybe I'm missing something, but, like, to me, like, I think he's pretty valid. He shouldn't be threatening her, but, like, I get where he's coming from.
I'm just confused about why Dee Dee was even there in the first place.
I don't actually know.
Because that's weird. Like, if he was just following her and being creepy, like, well, you shouldn't have been following. But him being like, you should have told them that Damien was there. Yes, absolutely.
I will say the vibe I got with, like, Dee Dee is just that he also happened to be there, not that he followed her. Interesting. But maybe you also could be right, because, like, we don't really see, like, he just kind of ends up there, you know? Okay. So it's not really clear.
Okay.
So this guy, he pushes Alex into the driver's seat of the car and slams the door, like, as if he's going to go get in the passenger seat. But as soon as he slams the door, a gunshot goes off and blood splatters all over the car window, and this guy falls to the ground.
It was Damien?
Damien comes walking over with a shotgun in hand now.
Oh my God. I would love to hear what he has to say.
Well, he leans over the man on the ground, calling him a coward repeatedly as he, like, keeps just hitting him with the gun, which I don't know where that comes from. It seems like it's related to a past thing, because he's like, you're the coward, like, as if this guy had called him a coward. I don't remember that happening. Maybe it did. Okay. But, like, he's hitting him over and over again. Like, there's a lot of frustration, like, coming out all of a sudden. Obviously, he then sees, you know, Alex is sitting there, and he opens up the car door where Alex is shaking in fear, and he reaches into her hand and takes the car keys away, saying, it's okay, it's okay, it's all right. Like, he's got almost, like, not that he has two personalities, but his personalities, like, the sides of him are so extreme at the moment. Like, he's just, like, this insane rage, and then he's, like, extremely comforting towards her. They go back inside, and Damien pours some pills into the palm of his hand, and then turns to Alex and tells her to open her mouth. She refuses, so Damien forces the pills down her throat.
Oh my God.
Dude, I know.
What is happening? Like, actually, what is happening? I don't want to victim blame here, which I'm allowed to because it's fiction, but I would have been so, I don't know. I guess I can't say for sure, because it's like, what is it? Flight, fight, and freeze. And she froze, and he just was able to walk right on over to her, take those keys off her out of her hands, get her inside, shove some pills down her throat. Like, I would like to think as soon as I saw him come around with that shotgun, starting that car, and I'm whipping out.
Fair.
But I also can't judge her too much.
I know I'm a freeze girly in a lot of situations. So, like, I definitely empathize with her, but I think you're right. Like, that's what she should have done, you know?
Yeah, no. I'm not frustrated with her in, like, a you're so stupid way. I'm, like, frustrated in, like, oh no, like, I just don't want her to die. I just don't want her to die.
I know. Yeah. So these pills that Damien shoves down her throat must have been sleeping pills, because the screen kind of just cuts to black for a solid 10 seconds. And the next thing we know, Alex is tied up to a chair with a gag in her mouth.
Okay. Where are we?
When she wakes up.
Don't tell me we're in the tower. Don't tell me we're in the tower. I'm scared. Okay.
No, I'm not saying that. When she wakes up, she can hear somebody else in the house crying.
Oh.
It's a man. She's a bit groggy, but then she realizes where she is. She's up in the attic.
Ew, no.
She looks...
Not the slicey corner. Not the slice and dice corner, no.
She looks over, and through, you know, sort of blurred vision, she can see that Damien is in the corner of the attic, and there's also another man laid out on a table.
Oh my God.
The man is pleading and crying, you know, saying, like, you don't have to do this. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Damien stands over him with what almost looks like a more of a scalpel kind of situation, and says, don't worry, Doc. You'll be good as new. And he begins to cut into the doctor. Now, we don't really see it. We cut away, but we can just hear the doctor screaming. And then Alex just passes out.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's giving revenge.
Mm-hmm. A little bit. When Alex wakes up again, it seems to be hours later because it's dead quiet and it's darker than it was before. And Alex looks over at the table and the doctor is dead. But it's hard to tell what happened to him. Like, it seems like it's somewhere between, like, probably skinning. I'm sure there's some skinning going on because, like, that would just bring it all back together. But then I'm also thinking, like, whatever the doctor had done to him at Bridgewood, he probably also kind of just did to him. Like, because he's, like, all bloody, but you can't really, like, all the skin's still on his back. His head's bloody. So I'm wondering if he, like, cut open his head. Like, thinking like brain stuff kind of thing, like that would make sense, but like you just can't really see it.
Okay.
So Alex begins to struggle against her restraints, and she's like strapped to a chair, like a wooden chair, but she's able to like move it around in a way where she's able to break the chair and like able to get her feet off of it, but her hands are still tied behind her back. She tries to make her way down the attic ladder, but without her hands, it's obviously a little bit difficult, and she falls onto the floor below, but she is downstairs now, so I guess that's good. She gets up, clearly in some pain, but she goes down to the first floor where she hears music playing. Something I want to note here, because I caught it the first time and the second time it drove me crazy. She walks by the front door to the house to go into the kitchen.
That's a choice.
Yeah, I don't know why. But she goes into the kitchen to go over to the knife block, like to get a knife.
Oh, that is weird.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, is she just going to be stupid and like see like, where is my husband? What's he doing? Like, girl, you should not be worrying about that. Just get out.
Right.
But that is very weird that she goes to get a weapon instead of just getting out.
Right.
And I'm guessing she's not going to just hightail it out of the house now that she has the weapon.
Right. Well, and I think she goes to get the knife like thinking like either weapon or cutting herself loose. But you could have opened the front door with your hands tied together like that. If you can grab a knife, you can grab a door handle. So like this part did piss me off a little bit. I'm not going to lie. While she's trying to get this knife, right? Mrs. Miller walks into the room. Now, of course, Alex still has...
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Mrs. Miller walks in.
How'd she get out? What's going on?
She's just here now. So Alex still has the gag in her mouth and her hands are tied behind her back and she's like obviously frightened. But Mrs. Miller walks in and is just like, hello, my dear. Are you okay? Like she just doesn't, she's not fully there. So she doesn't recognize that this is kind of fucked up right now.
Oh my God.
So all Alex can do is cry. And Mrs. Miller says, she's like, you know what? I'm going to make some tea.
Perfect.
So perfect. Thank you, Mrs. Miller. That's great. Thank you so much, ma'am. So that's when Damien walks in and he's like, Alex, what are you doing? I thought you were still sleeping. He tries to comfort her. He's like, it's okay. We're just going to have some tea. So like he's again like a little bit of a personality switch where he's like just kind of full on crazy madman, but like in a calming way. It's really weird. Mrs. Miller prepares the tea and she does seem to be in her own world, not knowing that anything is wrong right now. And the three of them sit at the table to enjoy some lovely tea together. Damien looks at Mrs. Miller and asks her, you really don't remember me at all? Mrs. Miller says, of course she remembers him. He's the nice young man that came to bring her home. He's like, no, I'll give you a clue. I used to call you Mummy. Mrs. Miller's like, that's so silly. Why would you do such a thing? And he's like,
God.
He's like, because I'm your son. Mrs. Miller again insists, like, that's just so silly because she only has one daughter named Lily. She's like, have you ever met Lily?
Oh, yes, he has.
Damien is going to go on to tell us a story here.
Okay.
So I have this like fully quoted.
Yes.
I remember it was cold that morning and you insisted that we go on a hunt. It was still very dark. I remember I felt proud to hold a rifle like a grown-up. I saw the most magnificent deer and it was at my reach. I fired once, twice, maybe 3 times. I didn't know she was standing there. I couldn't see her. I heard her cry out and fall. I ran over to her and I tried to stop the blood, but you pushed me out of the way and you started screaming at me. So you sent me into hell. Do you even know what they did to me there? They didn't take the evil out of me. They put it there. Damien tells us all of this through tears as there's like a little bit of recognition that seems to flash back into Mrs. Miller's face. Damien continues to cry to his mother, asking how she could have left him in that place. Why did she never come back for him? Mrs. Miller just sips her tea and ignores everything that he's saying.
Yikes.
Damien looks over at Alex and says, she's completely erased me. We can now see that when Alex was trying to grab that knife from the knife block earlier, she was successful, and she's been cutting away at the ropes behind her back.
Okay.
Damien stands up over his mother, and he looks her in the eye before grabbing at her throat and squeezing, saying, are you sure you don't remember? Alex is obviously in a panic now, and she's like really starts going at the ropes because Damien's distracted. So she's able to free herself, and she quickly makes her way over around the table and just stabs Damien in the back with the knife. Like, no hesitation.
Wow. I would run. I couldn't do that.
I know. I feel like I would, which is horrible.
Yeah.
Because, like,
I should try to save this person.
I think I'm with you on that. Like, I'm just a scaredy cat. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Also, is it feeling like he's taken over again? I mean, he's talking about his real life situation. So, like, it is him.
Yeah.
I
think it is him. Yeah.
Think he's never been blacking out, or it's never been like something like.
I think we'll talk about it at the end.
Okay.
Because this movie is so interesting to me.
Yeah.
I have a lot of thoughts about what it means and where it comes from.
Okay.
Damien obviously, feels the knife go into his back, and he stops, but he just reaches back for the knife and just pulls it out of his shoulder.
Oh my God.
Like, it definitely hurt him, but it did not take him down. And now he has a knife.
Yeah.
So Mrs. Miller sits in the chair trying to regain her breath while Damien looks down at her. He takes the knife in his hand and slowly just starts driving it right into her heart.
Ooh.
But, like, very slowly. It's not like he stabs her. He just, like, slowly drives it in. And this is when Alex decides to run. Like, at this point, the knife's in her chest. Like, what's she gonna do?
Yeah.
So she just takes off running.
It's interesting that, like, I wonder if I'm gonna find out, but I wonder if he wants to kill her. Because, like, all of we've seen him kill the doctor and his mom, and he clearly holds, like, resentment for what happened in his childhood. But then is he just going to go full madman and just, like, kill anyone for whatever reason? Or, like, does he want to kill his wife and he has a reason for it that I don't know? Because he seems to have his own little reasons for doing what he's doing right now, and I don't know why he would hurt his wife.
Right. No, that's a good question. Alex runs into the trees, and when she turns around, she can see that Damien has begun to follow her, calling for her, telling her to come back. But she keeps going. She heads toward the stone ruins behind the house. Now, I'm not sure that I would go there because I feel like that's too obvious. I think I would just run into nothingness. I'd rather do that.
Yeah, I'd go in the woods.
Exactly. So she gets up there and she just, like, hides behind, like, a broken piece of stone wall, and Damien makes his way up there as well. He's still screaming for her. He's saying, I love you. I can't live without you. But, like, he sounds insane as he's saying these things. Alex goes to move, and, like, she makes a little bit of noise. I didn't think she moved positions, but Damien turns around and screams, I see you, which is so gross.
Why, bro?
No,
he's
literally.
Just crazy. He's crazy.
He's crazy.
Yeah.
So Alex quickly tries to run and continues to hide behind, like, different parts of the stone walls as Damien makes his way toward her. It's at this point, too, that I realize that Damien is holding the shotgun.
Oh, God. Okay.
So eventually, just kind of like a little bit of cat and mouse is happening, and then eventually the two of them come face to face. And Damien stares at Alex as she reaches down, and she just kind of, like, calmly just picks up, like, a rock. She's just, like, holding a rock. And he's like, what are you doing? Why'd you run off like that? Come here. He holds up the shotgun and points it at Alex. Come to me, he says. Alex stays put. She doesn't move. She doesn't say anything. She just stands there. Damien goes ahead and takes a shot at her. It strikes her in her left shoulder, and she falls to the ground. Damien says it again. Come to me. Alex is weak and in a lot of pain, but she slowly crawls over to Damien, dragging herself along the ground. Once she reaches him, he leans over and comforts her, telling her it's okay. He says this all the time. He's like, it's okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
Damien picks Alex up off the ground. I'll take care of you and our baby.
Oh my God.
He caresses Alex's head as she breathes heavily. Suddenly, Alex takes the rock in her hand and whips it against the back of Damien's head. He falls to the ground and Alex stands tall. She was clearly faking her weakness. She holds the rock over her head and brings it down another time on Damien. Damien screams out in pain, but he's still kicking. So Alex does it a third time. Damien, he's not done yet. He goes to stand up as Alex's face scrunches up in anger. It looks as though Alex might take another swing, but she doesn't. Damien finally gathers himself and stands up. He looks at Alex as his eyes go blank, and then he just falls backward over the cliff.
Oh.
And we hear contact with the ground, and it doesn't sound so good for him, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Alex falls to the ground in defeat, and we get a shot of Damien, whose head is bashed in at the bottom of the cliff.
Oh my God. I was not expecting him to just, I was waiting for her to like not do enough and then go running, and then he was going to keep going after her. Like, damn.
Like all this like back and forth. This movie kind of like does cut to the chase a little bit in that sense.
Yeah.
Whereas like some movies it's like, and then he gets away, and then he doesn't, and then he does. Like, you know what I mean? The screen actually goes black for about 8 seconds before we open up on a beach during the day.
Okay.
A small boy runs by the shore and plays in the sand, and Alex is with him. They run and play on the beach, and a voiceover of Alex singing a nursery rhyme comes in, and then we see Alex putting her son to bed. In the middle of the night, we see Alex asleep in her own bed, and she suddenly wakes up when she hears a thud. She gets out of bed and begins to call for Simon. I guess that's what she named him. She notices that the door is wide open to the backyard.
Oh.
So she goes outside and she finds Simon. He's sitting on a swing. His eyes are wide open and he stares at the ground as though he's in a trance.
Yeah.
And the movie ends.
Oh my God. What? Just
Yeah. I have a lot of thoughts on this film.
First of all, I feel not that the movie needed to do this, but I feel like frustrated with not being able to get a real conversation out of Damien and be like, what is going on with you? Like, are you actually blacking out?
Yep.
Are you just like crazy? Have you been planning this whole situation ever since we got here, or did the environment drive you crazy and like you spiraled because you were back at a traumatic place, or were you evil for like our entire relationship and you were like, okay, it's time for me to do this now and let's go, and you had it planned from the start? Why are you such an asshole? Like, why are you taking shots at me and then also saying like we're supposed to be together? I mean, obviously he did. I think he aimed specifically for the shoulder and like didn't want to kill her. I think he wanted to get her to just be with him. But it's like, I literally need, like, are you insane? Like, do you understand how insane you are? Why would I be with you? Like, and it, like the fact that it goes back to he did. So his story was with the sister.
Yes.
That like he was blamed for it.
Like, he did do it, but he didn't mean to.
Okay, so that it was like an accident and he got sent away for it.
Right.
That is extremely like traumatic. Like, imagine as a kid accidentally killing someone. Like, that's so traumatic. And then being sent away for it and then being experimented on. Like, he has like a really traumatic, sad backstory, but it's like, why are you, and I kind of can get the motive, honestly, of like the doctor. Like, we don't know how like what was going on and what he was put through, or even the teacher, like what the teachers did to these kids. Obviously, at the end of the day, blah, 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 murder is bad, don't murder people. But I get that motive of him being like, I need revenge for what I went through. The mom, that situation is pushing it, I think, as far as like motive goes. It's like, okay, now you're just crazy. And then like shooting me and thinking that like, or his wife, and like being like, you belong with me. It's like, oh my God. It's so weird because half of his motive like makes sense and is rooted in insane trauma. And it's like, oh my God. But then half of his motive is just like, I'm crazy now.
To be fair, I do think the mother still fits with the motive because it sounds like, I don't know if I'm just jumping because of his actions, but like, I'm guessing that she was like emotionally abusive toward him as well.
Oh, okay.
Just based on
like before the sister situation.
I don't know if it was also before. It's like, I don't know. It sucks because I think everything with Alex doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to fit. I think what I'm doing is trying to fit the mom into the motive because it's like, why is she there? And then my other question on everything is like, is this movie just supposed to be environmental factors and all of that, or is there still supposed to be a paranormal element to it?
Right.
And like that's like such an interesting conversation on so many films, I feel like, is like mental health versus like true, like, you know, demonic stuff in horror. It's like, which one is it? And I don't know if this movie is just going on this trauma that this kid faced and everything that he went through and that made him the way he is. But then there's the kid at the end. It's like, okay, well, that's genetics. But like, and then there's the dad too. Remember the mom was like, oh, like my husband was a horrible person. Like, like, I just feel like there's so many different questions about this movie. And I think this movie is not rated super high. It's like very middle, like 5, like, you know, 5 out of 10 kind of vibes. But the thing that frustrated me with this movie more than anything else is this movie had potential in my eyes to be really good. The mistake that they made, from my perspective, is I think their relationship should have been much better. And I think that would have made him a lot scarier in like his sleepwalking and stuff. Like, why was he such an ass like regularly? I feel like if their relationship, like, because you weren't rooting for them at all, you just hated him the whole time. But if you had an ability to see his nice side more, I think it would have made the stakes higher. And like that was like the one thing about this movie that really frustrated me. Like his personality didn't really make sense because he had like a couple sweet moments, but that was it. And then he was just a jerk. And like, I understand if the place is driving you mad, which is, you know, actually kind of comes back to The Shining in a way. Like, that's like the concept of The Shining. But like, he lost all good parts of his personality too early in the film. And I think that made it a little bit tough.
I agree. And I actually agree. Like, obviously his mom is the one who blamed a child for an accident, sent him away, like let him be experimented on. Like, yeah, the mom can fit into the motive. I think I just have more empathy for the mom because she was grieving and like not in her right mind, I think, like through those actions. But still at the same time, from his perspective, I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, the mom does fit into the motive. It just makes no sense. Yeah, him being an asshole to Alex through the whole movie. I don't understand why. It just literally doesn't make sense. And also to your point of like, is it paranormal? Isn't like with the kid at the end, and like the folklore of the family with like the evil. That also is like, I'm confused about that because they're kind of insinuating that yes, it's like there's a boy in every generation that just has this evil in them. But like his explanation that could make sense if it wasn't for this folklore that we had in the background is that he wasn't evil. He became evil because of the shit that he had to go through.
Yeah. Which is the way he puts it. He's like, they put the evil in me.
Yeah. So that makes sense. But then why is it passing on from however many generations ago and into it's leaving you on like it's in her son too. Like what's going on?
Right. And that, that's, I don't know. I just, cause like, the fact that they've been married, this couple, for like however many years and stuff, tells me that they had a really good relationship.
Yeah.
If we had seen more of that at the start of the film, it would have been like, okay, well, the place is driving him crazy. The fact that he's back here is driving him crazy. But like, they just kind of didn't, I feel like they just didn't get that across well enough. So like, this movie, I really like it. It just has some like little things where I'm like, ooh, I feel like, now, I mean, I'm an idiot. I don't know how to make film. I'm not a writer. Like, I know that.
Yeah.
But from an outside perspective, I look at it and I'm like, ooh, like this had potential in some spots to just be tweaked.
Yes.
Here and there.
I feel the same way in just hearing the story for sure.
Yeah.
Final survivability, staying. Are we going to keep ourselves in Alex going into this?
I would say so.
Okay.
I feel like it makes sense.
Yeah. We're just like in her perspective the whole time pretty much. Yeah. So I honestly go 50-50 at the end here. I think I'm going to give myself a flat 50.
Okay.
For this final act because I just don't know if I could fight against my husband. I would in the end, but like I've been shot and but then at the same time, so I'm thinking about like the final showdown when I say 50-50, I guess.
Okay, because I'm also thinking about I would have left the house earlier.
Exactly. So I should factor that in. So maybe I'm going up to like 70, honestly, with the amount of outs that I thought that there were before we had to face the final showdown. And then the final 1v1 for me is like 50-50 because I think it was clear that he didn't want to kill her, but he would have if he had to.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of mentally, like, me being able to kill him, and physically, you know, there's some aspect there. I don't know.
I gave myself a 74 for the third act.
Okay.
Just because I put a lot of weight, I think, on I would hope I would have left earlier.
I was thinking, I said about 7, I was thinking 72 for this final act.
Yeah. Yeah.
And honestly, I guess the whole movie. Like, I think that's what I would choose as my final score. Do you want to explain, like, where we're at?
Yeah, we kind of had, like, an off-the-record conversation in the middle of this episode, because it's like, this feels like the kind of movie where, like, averaging out 100, and then our final score doesn't really make sense because, like, the weight of the movie is just, it's the third act. Like, obviously you're alive, and the first two, everyone will be. So I think when it comes to survivability scores, we're just like, we're kind of not sure. Like, every movie kind of needs a different system. So right now we're kind of just playing it by ear a little bit, so we figure out what makes sense. But for this movie, I think just an overall final score probably makes the most sense.
Yeah, I agree. I feel good about just my overall final being 72.
Yeah, and mine was 74, so
73.
73, baby.
We can do that math.
Yeah. We didn't pull out our calculators for this one, guys. Are you proud of us?
Yeah. Oh my god.
But yeah, that is Nightman. Again, I liked it. I do think it's worth a watch. It's got a good vibe to it. It's well shot and everything. So aesthetically, very cool.
Cool.
But I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Feel free to check us out over on Instagram. Over there, you can get all of our other links, including the link to our Discord, where you can submit your own scores and let us know, would you survive?